Hello and welcome to the Warren Buffett podcast with Matthew Warren-Katz and Steve Buffett. Steve, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Guess I'm glad I live in the present day and not like 700 years ago. I just don't think I would have made it too far without like antibiotics.
I feel like I have a weak stomach. I would have thrown up a lot, and then I would have died because there's not other food to eat. You gotta ration it.
Yeah, man, you can't get like gluten-free pancakes in like 1200. Could you imagine?
No, I hope that this episode doesn't sound like I'm crying. I just cut up 6 pounds of onions.
Yeah.
I really did. We're making food tonight, and we're making a onion, what's it called? French onion soup fondue. So it's basically like French onion soup, but like really low on the broth, and then it's a lot of cheese, and you like dip bread in it.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
It should be. It better be. I had to cut up literally 6 pounds of onions. I've never had to cut that many onions. I feel
That's
like
an
it's
obnoxious
wrong.
amount of onions. Yeah, 6 pounds? That
It
can't be right,
it
man.
feels wrong. Yeah, like I filled up a
Yeah.
giant tub of onions, but we're gonna go
Like,
with it.
are you feeding an orphanage? Like,
I don't know. Do you think they had when did orphanages come about? Is that new?
that's a good question. Yeah, I don't know. You ever watch those movies about like ancient Egypt or things, and like the kids would just kind of be like, rabble rousers in the street, like picking off, the leftovers. And I think that was kind of the foundation of orphanages, where it was just like you just kind of had to figure it out and not die, and then they institutionalized it.
I feel like that's Slumdog Millionaire, right?
Yeah, I don't know what goes on in India, man. That's probably part of it.
Oh, that's India. Yeah, the only thing I remember from Slumdog Millionaire is that I really hated how all the questions happened to go in chronological order with his life. Felt that was annoying. And two, I remember the scene where they blind the kid with the hot spoon, and that's fucked
Yeah,
up. But
yeah, that was pretty cool.
yeah.
Good movie.
Wait, what? Yeah, no, I really didn't like that movie at all.
Okay, well,
Yeah, I feel like
that's
I need
fine.
to. Yeah, I feel like I need to rewatch Uncut Gems actually, because I hated that
Oh
movie.
yeah, you're telling me about that, right? It
Yeah,
was you didn't like the ending in theaters, but maybe watching it on your own while you're cutting up onions might be a better experience.
yeah, exactly. Like because in the theater, you know how loud movies are nowadays. In the theater, it was just like an unlikable man yells for 3 hours. I wanted to. Oh my god, when the ending. Spoiler alert. Skip like 20 seconds if you don't want to hear it. When they shoot that guy in the
Yep.
face and he stops talking, that's like the best part of the movie
Yeah.
because it's like, oh my god, I can stop listening to this guy yell.
Yeah, Adam Sandler yelling, that's kind of his character. That's always he's like an egg-shaped head man that just like yells all the time, and a lot of times it's very endearing. It's funny, but when it's kind of a serious role like that, it really doesn't work. He just comes off as very annoying.
Yeah, I watched him in one of his other serious films last night, Happy Gilmore, where he is, doing his best to bring his mother's home back. That's really what that film's about. It's not funny, uh, but no, that movie's actually not bad. I thought it'd not hold up as well, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, there are definitely some movies that you shouldn't revisit. Like I watched Power Rangers for some reason, like a year ago. Something you watch in like the '90s when you were growing up, and I was like, "What the?
I'm
This
surprised
is
they
dog
still,
shit."
I'm surprised they still allow that, with the White Power Ranger and all. Feel like that should be
Yeah,
taken off.
it was a different time. Like Clinton was president, and it was before 9/11. It was kind of like anything went at that point. But yeah, it was weird, man. It was really unenjoyable. And I found that there are a lot of movies like that that just don't hold up. You really shouldn't revisit old things.
Yeah, sometimes it's best to just let nostalgia lie in the past.
Yeah,
Is that
that's
what
how
you're
I feel a
saying?
lot about history. Yep.
Yeah. History's fun. There's a lot of cool, interesting things in history, like the invention of the light bulb and the Children's Crusade. You know?
Is that a good event for you, the Children's Crusade?
I don't really know much about it. I used to because people used to talk about it, but now I don't really remember much. I think that this is probably a good time for us to do what we were talking about, where we should do an episode where we discuss history. Maybe we'll do Middle Ages. That was when the Crusades were, right?
Yeah, I think that's right. Let me do a
Okay.
quick Google search here. Crusades, middle. Yep, fits
Okay.
right in there.
Well, I'm gonna do a real search. Let's do a. Okay, so we're gonna look for some real information here. We got Middle Ages. Looks like we were already here. Um, whatever. So yeah, where we should probably find a good topic to start. Let's look at the contents of the Middle Age. First of all, when was this? Was this before Jesus or after? After.
No, this was after Jesus. Yeah, yeah. That explains the Crusades, right? People were like, ah, the Holy Land or whatever.
Fifth to
But yeah,
15th
this
century.
was after, which is kind of funny, right? Like, isn't it weird that over the scope, just the course of human history, we went from like building the pyramids and doing something just crazy like that of itself is really just ridiculous. And also just like spreading throughout the world. And then you get to this like 1,000-year period where everything sucked.
Yeah. I feel like well that was like the Dark Ages, right? Like after the Middle Ages.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I just know that the Middle Ages was just like religion reigned supreme, to like very much the detriment of everything else.
Yeah, the different so it looks like there's three areas here. So we've got the later
Okay.
Roman Empire, which is probably
Uh-huh.
where America's at right now, realistically. And
Sure.
then we've got the early Middle Ages, the high Middle
Uh-huh.
Ages, missed opportunity to call those the Middle Ages, and then the late Middle Ages. And just to take like a little bit here, we've got church and monasticism. We've got and then the Middle Ages, we've got church life and the Crusades, and then we have the collapse of Byzantium and controversy within the church. This is when they were like, should we be open about the child sex trafficking or should we hide it? They went with hide it.
I wonder if the Catholic Church sees this as kind of like the highlight of their period and of existence. They're just like, man, we really ran the fucking shop during that time.
They were like, we should have never let him learn anything.
Should have just kept beheading people, burning people at the stake, and making sure everybody paid the Pope,
Ripping them in
which
half
is
with
very
horses.
very mob like.
You got to kick up to the
It's like,
big
no,
boss.
no, yeah, you got to clear it with me before you do any of that.
You got to you kick all your money up to the big boss, and we kick a good word up to you, the big boss, the jefe, whatever.
Yeah, man, this pointy hat with the jewels isn't gonna pay for itself. Let's go.
Yeah, I love how like Jesus was all they like these guys all came out and were like, yeah, so we're gonna make sure that I live a very simple life and Jesus did too, and I only have one or two golden crowns. It's not it's not like it's not like I think I'm better than you or anything. Just kiss my
Look,
hand.
just because just kiss the ring. Yeah, just because call me Skipper. Just because the bathroom I bathe in with all my royal assistants is made out of solid gold doesn't like that was already there. Like I'm not gonna throw it away. You can just sell that, like let's not be crazy, everybody.
No,
Let's
no.
not be
I feel
crazy.
like you don't want to.
Got
You want
one.
to kind of. They earned it. It's
Yeah,
not.
exactly.
It's not easy to be born into that, because you're like a king, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you're like God's chosen whatever.
So this is like a map during the Middle Ages. Okay, so it's pretty much Europe over here. Like exactly Europe. There's Italy. This is probably where the Pope was. I
I
guess the
don't see a
British had
map
their
on
own
the
thing.
screen.
Oh, my bad. Here
I
you
see
go.
the
I
table of
changed tabs.
contents. Oh,
Sorry.
there we go.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was in the recording, just not for you to see. Sorry.
Oh wow.
But yeah. So I don't know. Like we got the
Yeah,
British
that
they got
looks
their own
right.
thing over here. They still
Yeah,
have
that's pretty
royalty
funny.
though. How weird is that?
Yeah, Prince Charles or Philip, one of those old guys,
Yeah.
just passed away. He was 99, so
That's fine.
Imagine living till 99. That's a long time, man.
I mean, imagine living to 99 and not living to 100. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd be pretty mad. I think. Well, actually, I wouldn't care. I'd be dead. But
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be kind of a bummer. Like, oh, I'm almost there. I don't think I'm gonna make it. Remember me, avenge me.
Yeah, I feel like if you were at 99, you'd be like, "Oh man, triple digits. Here we co-" dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a boner.
They didn't even have to
I feel
take
like
him out like Princess Di. So should we skip to the Crusades?
Yeah, I think that's probably the more interesting part because the Middle Ages was just like a bunch of farming and like trying to figure things out and like very very poor drawings of things. Like they didn't really learn perspective until I think a while into it, and so all of these like paintings of the Middle Ages were just dog shit.
Yeah, this does look
There's
like
no other
total
way
crap.
to put it.
This looks like
Yeah,
garbage.
they look terrible. Right.
I could do better.
I've done better.
I don't think I have actually. I probably can't.
That's actually pretty good.
This is not bad. This,
Yeah, it's very modern.
yeah. I didn't know they knew about transparency back then. This grid. Okay, so we're in the Crusades. What's the disambiguation about Crusade? What is this? What else could it? Oh, I see. It's like the games and commercials and TV and stuff. So
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah, man. The Crusades are an interesting time, though, right? It was just like Western Europe was like, all right, boys, let's go get that Holy Land back from those guys that are a little bit browner than us. And the Muslims, were like, please don't. And that, lasted for, what was that, like a war of like 600 years between Europe and all of the empires in the Middle East. Kind of crazy, actually.
there's a lot here under Crusade. So there's Crusades in the Holy Land from 1095 to 1291, almost 200 years.
Wow.
Then there's ones after 1291. Then there's the Northern Crusades, which overlapped with that from 1147 to 1410. Like, is that like almost 300 years? Holy shit.
It's a long time.
Oh, I think this is the more interesting part. The war against heretics. Starting in the 1200s to the 1430s.
Now we're talking.
Is that like the war
Hell
on
yeah.
drugs? Did that work? They just lose that one.
They invade, like, I don't know, some part of the Seljuk Empire, and there's like a big military frigate, and it says "mission accomplished," and it's the exact same thing, but like 900 years ago.
Hear ye, we have accomplished thine mission against those heretics.
Oh no, I've appeared to have cut myself on my armor, and we do not have antibiotics, I am hearing. Goodbye, everyone.
It was a pleasure to wage war with you. All right, so what is the Children's Crusade? What is it? Like, okay, so popular crusades. This is a section. This is good. This is like the
yeah.
hit list, like the best of crusades.
What's in the least popular? Is it just like a bunch of B movie type like script ideas? Like, what makes a crusade popular? What? All right, we don't need to get into that. Tell me about the Children's Crusade.
Let's see. All right, so there's one Shepherd's Crusade. There was two Shepherd's Crusades. Like, so that one was so good that they had to do like a Hollywood reboot. Do you think when they did the Shepherd's Crusade, they like the second time they brought it back, like half the warriors are women or something?
I wish that, or I really hope that, we just got like history a little bit wrong, and that when they're coming up with these crusade ideas, it's exactly like a Hollywood pitch.
Right,
like you've got someone. Yeah, exactly. He comes in, he's like, all right, it's like the crusade, but this time they're children.
This summer.
For the next 200 years.
You're prepare to die of famine, dysentery, and other diseases if you are not sacrificed to the gods.
I like
I
this.
don't
I
know
like
if
this. All right, we'll fund it.
Like, I don't know if I want to do this. They're like, well, it's funded by Y Combinator. Like, okay, all right,
No,
that's fine.
cool.
Imagine, like, how did they pitch you on this? Like, so you're gonna get options in the Crusade, and they're gonna vest over the next 50 to 75 years.
We're looking for a Series A. You know,
we're gonna have stock refreshers too to keep keep skin in the game here. We don't want you as a warrior in your like 30s, not being interested when there's Ottomans to kill, there's Arabs, there's children. I mean, we have a children's crusade.
That's right. Yep, that's your share. That's your share. Non-diluted.
Yeah. Bake that in.
Right. I don't know how they pitch this, but in any event, yeah, the Children's Crusade. I like how it's described on Wikipedia, a failed popular crusade. That's gotta hurt.
Failed popular crusade. Oh, I see. So you've got your own Wikipedia open. Okay.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Okay. We should get a VPN so we can edit Wikipedia. I don't want to get banned.
What are you talking about? There's an edit button right here. I'm on it.
I think it'd be a good idea if we had a VPN for this, and then we could, after we discuss something, I could be like, this topic was discussed in depth on the Warren Buffett podcast. I could just link to it. All right, so we've got the Children's Crusade. As you said, the Children's Crusade was a failed popular crusade by European Christians to establish a second Latin kingdom of Jerusalem in the Holy Land. Like that's how you'd have to read it, like it's a monster truck rally to get people in. We are going to peacefully convert the Muslims. Bands of children marching into Italy, children being sold into slavery, coming soon for the next 200 years.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, not bad. Wait, there's a disambiguation about the Children's Crusade. There's probably like a band or something, right?
Yeah, probably.
There's no band called Children's Crusade?
Dude, that's crazy.
Okay,
should we start one?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, that's a great band name. Are you kidding me? That's one of the better band names I've heard in my life.
That's a great band name. You could do, it's like an amazing punk band name. You could headline like Riot Fest or anything with that. Be like, oh, dude, you know Children's Crusade? Oh yeah, dude.
Oh, dude, what? CC?
I love that song called Wheat Options that they have, where they give you wheat if you make it through the first 20 years of the war. That's a great one.
That's so me. Yeah, dude, I love Chill Crew.
Oh my god. So like, what happened in the why is it called the Children's Crusade? Do you know more about this than I do? Like, did they actually make just kids fight? Was it like a is this before they had dog fighting or something? What's going on here?
Let's see here. I mean, if we scroll down,
yeah,
it says that some dude, a boy, begins to preach in somewhere in France or Germany, hard to say, claims that Jesus came and was like, "Sup," and Jesus. I always love this. Jesus told me to lead a crusade, a popular one, not one of these B-list bullshit ones, in order to peacefully convert Muslims to Christianity. And then a bunch of miracles happen. 30,000 kids show up. I guess there's your question about orphanages.
What?
Yeah, I guess that's the first orphanage. They sent them to the crusade. And, then they marched the Mediterranean. And then it says this does not happen. The children are sold to two merchants who give free passage on boats, and then they're taken to Tunisia and they're sold into slavery, or they die in a shipwreck. What the fuck, man? That was super depressing.
Wow, it sounds like this is like Jonestown Massacre stuff here. Like, hey everybody, come meet to the Mediterranean Sea. We're all gonna die here.
That's a lot of kids. What the fuck? It reminds me of that.
How did they
It's
fund
Always
these
Sunny
wars?
episode. How do they fund them?
Yeah, like how do you keep this going? We're getting out of Iraq, right? Or Iran, wherever the fuck we're at now. Who even cares?
We're getting that one. We're getting out of Afghanistan now.
I'm sure we'll figure somewhere out to stop on the way home. It's kind of like Europe. You go to London and you say, oh, we're here for 2 weeks. Let's go spend a weekend in Paris. And you say, oh, we're here for 20 years. Let's go check out Iran. Maybe set up another base in Pakistan.
I feel like we just did that with Iraq.
Yeah,
but
it was like you have to have like a vacation home from your first war. You don't want to be held up in one third world country. You want to be able to go somewhere else, take a break, take a breather, get a fresh perspective on how you want to, you know, dominate.
Sure.
Let's get back to the Children's Crusade.
All right.
According to more recent researchers, they seem to have actually been two movements of all ages.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so no ageism here. In 1212 in Germany and in France. The similarities of the two allowed later chroniclers to combine and embellish the tales. Oh. Oh, so you're saying maybe they didn't get as many options as we were discussing. That's sad. That's disturbing.
Gotcha. What an interesting period of history, right? 1212, right? Hey, where'd all these kids go? I don't know. We sent them to Jerusalem. How did they make it? Nah, probably not.
How do you get your how does that even happen to you as a kid? You're like, "Mom, Dad, I heard about this crusade happening. I'm going to go do it. It's for kids only. Stay away." Like, how did this even occur?
Yeah, I want to read the mailer to get these kids out. Is it like at the end of the zoo books that they get? You know, like how are they? How are they recruiting these kids?
I imagine that it happened the way that most grassroots movements happen. Most grassroots revolutions around the world happen where the U.S. government drops pamphlets explaining to you that there's a crusade happening, and something like that. I don't know.
Around in 1212. Here's my take. So you know how like nobody lived very like the average life expectancy at the time was like 20. Like nobody lived very long, especially. I mean, like you would get a paper cut and die.
I thought
there was no medicine. Like
I thought that a lot of people still like lived like kind of long, but like the average was like died in childbirth. Like a lot of them were.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure that's part of it, or dysentery, or some horrible disease. Like the Black Death shows up at some point, but I have to imagine it's like, all right, you're 6, kind of adjusting down for your life expectancy. You're out of the house. That's kind of it, right? It was like joining the army.
You've learned your ABCs. It's time to go.
It's like even if you haven't, like just you're done. Get out.
Yeah, I guess you could have died from like a paper cut back then.
Oh, I would have.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
That'd be a good torture device, a giant piece of paper, and it paper cuts you in half.
It's a sharp piece of paper.
Oh, yeah.
It's Japanese steel.
There was like some weeaboo kid who had like a katana and showed up to the crusade like, "I am ready for you, Jesus-san." Jesus desu.
Hi.
I'm actually just here at the Mediterranean Sea for olive oil. Here, that Mediterranean diet's good. I'm getting a little bit fat. You can sort of see there's some skin. You can see the sinew on my bones, and I just, I want to get rid of that sinew. Because back then,
I'm all about those healthy fats.
You're just peasants. Did they even have like a 40-hour? They didn't have a 40-hour work week. They had like a work you till you die week.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that was kind of. It's like the modern day like Uber driver. Like you just keep working until like the lights just go out. That was kind of how it was until in the Industrial Revolution. Even then, I think like up until like the 1940s, it just kind of sucked.
It was 1940 is when they put 40-hour work week, I think, into some type of law, but before then Ford popularized it from the 20s.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we should talk about what comes after that. Like what comes after the Crusade. Like things get better, right, in the Middle Ages.
Let's see. But yeah, I think that like before the Crusades, I don't think so.
All right, cool.
Let's go back though. We'll check. But yeah, like before the 40-hour work, like back then, I feel like you were like a slave or a serf, and you just worked forever. And then if you were a peasant, you worked like forever -1. Like you just basically like, I assume that you would just be like, man, I really hope my king believes in Jesus so I can have like a day off. My God.
Right. An hour.
So after the Crusades, we have intellectual life. So let's see what that was about.
Well, hold on. Did we cover the late Middle Ages?
We're still in the high Middle Ages, in the Middle Ages, as it were, with intellectual life. But
Middle Earth Ages.
the late Middle Ages are just the first chapter here or section is
Uh,
called War, Famine, and Plague.
okay.
Yeah,
So maybe it doesn't get better immediately.
seems like no. Um, Crisis of the late Middle Ages. So this was actually the early late Middle Ages, if you think about it, because it was the beginning
Uh-huh.
of the late Middle Ages.
That's great.
It's like someone be like, "Oh, we're like upper middle class." Like, I don't know. I was actually born in the early late Middle Ages. Like, okay, buddy, late Middle Ages, got it.
Got it.
Okay. So let's see here. The first years of the 14th century were marked by famines, culminating in the Great Famine. I don't see what was so great about it. 1315 to 17. The causes of the Great Famine included the slow transition from Marxism to capitalism. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
The causes of the Great Famine.
Really?
Yeah, that was actually Marx was around back then, as you know.
He's actually a vampire. He's been around for the last 10,000 years.
Horrifying.
All right.
So, the causes of
All
the
right.
Great
So they
Famine.
get through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the medieval warm period, and
Well,
then
oh,
the Little
okay.
Ice Age.
Ow.
What is this?
Huh. Oh yeah. Didn't it get a little bit colder for a bit?
It looks like it got kind of hot here, and then it got kind of cold, and then it just shoots up. That's weird. That must be a data error.
Yeah, that's definitely not right.
Yeah, that could be. So wait, why is it saying the Little Ice Age? 1400 to 1800. I saw 1800 and I was like, how fucking modern were the Middle Ages? Jesus Christ. Oh, you didn't see this. Sorry, I was looking at this.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, how did the Anyway.
We're in the late Middle Ages.
Yeah. So, this is interesting. The trauma of the plague led to an increased piety throughout Europe, manifesting in the foundation of new charities, the self-mortification of the flagellants, and the scapegoating of the Jews.
Wow.
Wow.
That's solid.
Yeah, I don't want to, attract a bunch of people talking about the height of the smokestacks at Treblinka in the comments, but I'm going to click on this link for a second.
Do it.
The Black Death, persecution, and massacre were a series of violent attacks on Jewish communities falsely blamed for outbreaks of the Black Death in Europe. Like, what? Can they catch a break?
It's an age-old practice.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Society and economy, state resurgence. Let's go back up though and just sort of like round
Yeah, hold
this
on.
out. We're
Like
coming to the
after
end
all
here.
that, then like after the famine, the Ice Age, hating certain people, then you get to the Black Death.
Yeah, well, they were blamed for the Black Death, apparently.
Wow. Yeah.
Conditions were further unsettled by the return of the plague throughout the rest of the 14th century. It continued to strike Europe periodically during the rest of the Middle Ages. So I guess the plague kind of popped up and such.
Yeah. People weren't getting their second shot.
This is an interesting picture. It's a picture of someone with their head on what looks like a roadblock, like a concrete road barrier, and someone has a giant knife and they're about to cut their neck off. I don't know why they're blindfolded. They're going to be dead in a second. But it says execution of some of the ringleaders of Jacquerie. How do you pronounce that?
Jacquerie?
Jacquerie. A 14th century manuscript of the Chronicles of the French. Okay, so let's see what this is. The Jacquerie was a popular revolt by peasants that took place in northern France in the early summer of 1358. This was a popular revolt. There were some unpopular revolts as well. I'm learning a lot about the Middle Ages having popular and unpopular versions of the same thing.
Yeah, man. Billboard top 10.
Was there like a top 10 plague? Like, dude, this one's dope. No, really. I love it. All right, so popular revolts. I think that this is a good way to describe our podcast. It's sort of a popular, very clearly, revolt against society.
Cool. Yeah, we've been, it's great that we finally got around to to talking about this. We've been getting a lot of fan mail for people telling us to to talk about the Middle Ages for some reason, and here we are.
People want to see the boys do the Middle Ages.
Now we've done them.
I wonder if they
keep sending in that fan mail.
I wonder if by do Middle Ages they meant we should do an episode where we just like bang milfs.
What? Oh.
Yeah, do the Middle Ages.
Oh man.
That'll be our
it's not out of the question. That's our next episode.
That's our next crusade. Thanks everybody. Good night.